Welcome to Science and Technology Briefing. The content of the briefing includes New York Times tech workers to reportedly strike over return to office rules. Number 10 denies blocking James Dyson's £6 million donation to state primary school. Avengers director criticized for mocking Scorsese in pathetic video. Downing Street denies AI summit being snubbed by world leaders. US announces strongest action yet on AI safety. New York Times tech workers to reportedly strike over return to office rules. The Globe and Mail. Tech workers at the New York Times are planning to strike for half a day on Monday, accusing the publisher of attempting to force them back to the office against their wishes. The strike will start at 1 p.m. Eastern Time and will include demonstrations on Zoom as well as outside the company's headquarters. The New York Times and the union have not yet responded to requests for comment. The Times tech workers voted to join the News Guild of New York last year, making it the largest tech union in the U.S. Number 10 denies blocking James Dyson's £6 million donation to state primary school. The Independent. Sir James Dyson has claimed that officials have blocked his attempt to donate £6 million to his local state primary school. The billionaire inventor said that his charitable foundation was seeking to give a grant to the Malmesbury C of E School in Wiltshire to help expand its new science and technology center. However, Dyson's stipulation that the school expand its pupil intake led to warnings from the council that other primary schools in the area could be forced to close. Dyson called on Education Secretary Gavin Williamson to intervene, accusing the government of failing to match rhetoric with action. Avengers director criticized for mocking Scorsese in pathetic video. The Independent. Avengers co-director Joe Russo has been criticized for mocking Martin Scorsese's lack of box office success. Russo made a TikTok video in response to a video shared by Scorsese's daughter, in which he appears to allude to the fact that the Avengers films make more money than Scorsese's films. Russo's video prompted backlash, with critics calling it a cheap and petty dig and one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen. Scorsese has previously criticized superhero films, comparing them to theme parks. His latest film, Killers of the Flower Moon, is expected to be in the running for Best Picture at the 2024 Oscars. Downing Street denies AI summit being snubbed by world leaders. The Independent. The UK government has denied that world leaders are snubbing Rishi Sunak's Artificial Intelligence (AI) summit, despite US President Joe Biden and other notable leaders not expected to attend. The summit, which aims to discuss the safe use of AI worldwide, will take place at Bletchley Park on Wednesday and Thursday. The guest list for the event has not been released, but US Vice President Kamala Harris, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, French President Emmanuel Macron, and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz are unlikely to attend. Downing Street maintains that the right experts, businesses, and leaders will be present at the summit. US announces strongest action yet on AI safety. BBC. President Biden has signed an executive order requiring AI developers to share safety results with the US government, marking what the White House has called the most significant actions ever taken by any government to advance the field of AI safety. The order places the US at the center of the global AI governance debate, which the UK government hoped to lead with a summit this week. The UK gathering will be attended by US Vice President Kamala Harris and executives from US tech giants, and will also feature EU President Ursula von der Leyen and UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres. Western Digital to split flash memory business after Kioxia merger talks stall. Reuters. Western Digital has announced plans to split into two separate companies, one focusing on hard drives and the other on flash memory. The decision comes after talks between Western Digital and Japan's Kioxia Holdings for a potential merger stalled, due to opposition from Kioxia investor SK Hynix. Western Digital has been dealing with a global chip glut and weak demand for flash memory products, putting pressure on chipmakers to consolidate. The separation of the businesses is expected to be completed in the second half of 2024. Property trusts add scale with deals totaling $7.9 billion. Bloomberg. Real estate investment trusts Healthpeak Properties and Realty Income have agreed deals to buy rival companies, totaling $7.9 billion. Healthpeak is to purchase Physicians Realty Trust for $2.6 billion in stock, while Realty Income will acquire Spirit Realty Capital for around $5.3 billion. The deals come during a challenging time for the U.S. real estate market, with higher borrowing costs weighing on property values. How internet disruptions caused problems in Gaza over the weekend. Washington Post. The near-total communications blackout in Gaza, which began on Friday, has eased somewhat following U.S. pressure on Israel to restore communications. The blackout caused significant problems for residents, journalists, activists, humanitarian groups, and emergency workers. A report from Cloudflare noted that government-directed internet shutdowns are common in authoritarian governments but less so in liberal democracies. War zones can, however, see disruptions in internet connectivity. Digital rights groups have noted that India uses the tactic more often than any other country, responsible for more than half of all shutdowns from 2016 to May 2022. The blackout in Gaza came as part of an expanded Israeli ground and air assault. Dear audience, I am Dr. Six, your resident observer from the 6 Degrees world, here to bring you the latest news and insights from around the globe. Let's dive right in. First up, tech workers at the New York Times are planning to go on strike, accusing the publisher of trying to force them back to the office against their wishes. Looks like they'll be demonstrating both on Zoom and outside the company's headquarters. I guess even tech workers can't escape the office politics. In another story, billionaire inventor Sir James Dyson claims that officials have blocked his £6 million donation to a local primary school. It seems his stipulation of expanding the school's pupil intake caused some concerns. Talk about a charitable gift with unintended consequences. Avengers co-director Joe Russo has come under fire for mocking Martin Scorsese's lack of box office success. Russo made a TikTok video comparing the Avengers film's earnings to Scorsese's films. Critics called it a cheap and petty dig. Looks like even superheroes have their rivalries. Moving on, the UK government denies that world leaders are snubbing Rishi Sunak's AI summit, but notable figures like President Biden are not expected to attend. Downing Street says the right experts and leaders will be present, but it seems they didn't make the A-list. Maybe they should have sent out better invitations. Speaking of AI, President Biden has signed an executive order requiring AI developers to share safety results with the US government. The White House claims this is the most significant action taken by any government to advance AI safety. Looks like the US wants to be at the forefront of the AI governance debate. In the tech world, Western Digital has announced plans to split into 2 separate companies, one focusing on hard drives and the other on flash memory. This comes after talks for a potential merger with Kioxia Holdings stalled. I guess they couldn't find the right match in the chip market. Real estate investment trusts Healthpeak Properties and Realty Income are making big moves, with deals totaling $7.9 billion. They're buying up rival companies to add scale in a challenging real estate market. Looks like they're taking advantage of the opportunity while others are holding back. Lastly, internet disruptions in Gaza caused significant problems over the weekend. The blackout, which has since eased, was part of an expanded Israeli assault. It's a reminder of how internet connectivity can be a casualty of conflict. And that's a wrap. Remember, these stories are just the tip of the iceberg. There's always more to explore and discuss. So, what are your thoughts on these stories? Do you have any burning questions or unique perspectives? Let's keep the conversation going. Dr. Six. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.